Hi everyone, I'm so happy to see you here. This is Get Ready and Get Weird with Marcella. I'm Marcella, happy to have you. Today we're talking about pangolins. We're also going to mention my camera stopped recording halfway through the video, so you don't get to see me put this beautiful sparkly stuff on my eyeballs, but they are representative of the scales that pangolins have. They are the only fully scaly mammal that we know of, and my necklace is also scaly-ish. Reminds me of pangolin scales. So today we talk about what pangolins eat, where they live, some of their characteristics and behaviors. We also talk about the sad fact that they are endangered and vulnerable. So we're gonna talk a little bit about pangolins. I'm so glad that you're here, even though I did have some technical difficulties today on this video. I think it will still be enjoyable and informative. The makeup is always just kind of a sideshow to the conversation, so the fact that we'll miss some of the background makeup putting on is a bummer for me, but less editing also for me, and all the information is still there. So enjoy. I hope that you learn about pangolins. They're a fun mammal. They're an interesting mammal, so I hope that you learned something. As always, please like, subscribe, share this video. I mentioned this at the end, but I'll put it up front too. For October, I want to do spooky, Halloween-y, kind of scary, or spooky, creepy organisms and topics. So if you have any that you would like me to consider, please send them my way. I have a couple, and there's only 4-ish weeks in each month, so I don't know that I'll be able to get to every single suggestion, but hopefully we like to throw spooky, creepy things in all year round, so just send them my way. With that being said, let's jump right into this technical difficulty video about pangolins. Hello everyone, I'm here with my clean face, ready to talk to you about pangolins. Pangolins are a very interesting mammal because they are the only known mammal that is actually covered in scales, and their whole body is covered in large, in my opinion, large scales, except for their stomach. Their stomach has soft hairs on it, no scales. Their scales are made of keratin, which is the same thing that makes up our fingernails, our hair, horns, so anything like that. That is what their scales are made out of. And I wore this necklace because it reminds me of pangolin scales. I'm a pangolin. There are 8 different species of pangolins. There are 4 in Asia and 4 in Africa. I have a pimple right there, gotta get it. The 4 species in Asia are listed as endangered, critically endangered, and the 4 in Africa are listed as vulnerable. We'll talk about what is causing the vulnerability of these animals in a few minutes, but it's important to remember that pangolins have played a major part in the history, especially in Asia, and some of their traditional practices, and that is part of the reason that they are on the endangered list. Pangolins are often called the scaly anteater because they do have a resemblance to anteaters, although they are more closely related to bears and cats and dogs than they are to anteaters or armadillos, which is another thing that they are often compared to. But they're often called the scaly anteater because they are insectivores, and they have a long tongue. It can be longer than their body, that is sticky, and it allows the ants and the insects, so they eat ants, termites, and larvae, and their tongue is sticky so that the bugs will stick to it and they can eat it that way. Another interesting fact is that their nose holes and ear holes can close up while they're eating so that no ants will get into their ear holes or nose holes, which I thought that was pretty handy, if you ask me. These scaly anteaters do not have any teeth, and something I found wild is that their tongue actually attaches near their pelvis. So their tongue is so long that it attaches near their pelvis past their last rib bone. So their tongue is going through like their entire body. And they can be up to 4 feet long as an animal, and their tongue can be longer than their body. That's nuts. Here is where we will get into some sad facts about pangolins. Pangolins are likely the most trafficked mammal besides humans. And as I mentioned, it has to do with the important part that they play in Asian cultures. Their scales are used in traditional medicines in China. And so they are hunted and poached and trafficked for their scales as well as their meat, which is considered a delicacy in wealthy, elite status people in Asia. Because of the fact that they are traded and trafficked illegally, all 8 species of pangolins are protected under international law, which is great. That's a great step in the right direction. Of course, people still do illegal things. People will still illegally poach and trade, but having treaties and international laws in place can be a great first step in helping to save animals who are on the endangered species list. In 2016, over 180 countries signed a treaty that made the trade of pangolins, the trafficking of pangolins, illegal, which again, like I said, people still do illegal things, but having over 180 governments together agreeing that this is something that needs to change is a great step in the right direction, and it is movement. So that has helped, and their goal is to get these animals off of the endangered species list. And then just this year in 2020, China made it illegal to use the scales of a pangolin in traditional medicine. So that is also being discouraged, which should help with the Asian pangolin population. I think my skin is dry. It's like it's not wearing my makeup correctly. Or as it normally would, I guess. I looked up and my camera was not recording, so surprise, I have glitter on my eyes. It's supposed to be like scales. Also, I have most of the rest of my face done. So I'm just gonna be telling y'all some characteristics about pangolins because that's what I've been doing to a not recording camera. Oops. All right, so let's talk about some cool characteristics about pangolins, since we did just cover, the fact that they are on the endangered list. we're working on helping the pangolins to regenerate, their populations in the wild, but let's talk about something a little more lighthearted than their status of endangerment. While it is important to know that, it's also fun to learn about why these animals are so cool. Some cool characteristics and behaviors of the pangolins is that they are actually solitary animals. Ooh, that was a lot. For the most part, pangolins live alone. They gather their insects alone. They live alone, they sleep in their dens alone. The only time that pangolins really interact with one another is to mate. And so a male and a female pangolin will spend some time together to mate as well as bear the children. And in one specific species, male pangolins will actually stick around. They'll stay in the den until the baby is ready to go off on its own. When pangolins are born, they have soft scales, so their scales are not hard yet. And that changes within a few days. So 2 to 3 days, you can expect the baby pangolin's scales to harden up, but they still stick around with their moms and sometimes dads for about 3 months. During this time, the baby pangolin will be riding on its mom's tail, similar to a baby possum riding on its mom's body. I'm trying something new and putting gel into my eyebrow hairs to make them spiky. It's what the cool hip people are doing, the cool kids on TikTok. So might as well try it out too. And so, like I said, a baby pangolin will ride on its mom's tail until it's weaned from her milk, and that is about 3 months. Pangolins are mostly nocturnal, and most of them stay on the ground, but there's one species in particular that does live in trees as well. I mentioned that, unless it happened when it wasn't recording, I did mention that pangolins can be about the size of a house cat, but they can also get as big as over 4 feet long, about 4 feet long. So a wide range of sizes. And last but not least, their form of defense, their defense mechanism is to roll up into a ball like an armadillo. So they're just a ball of armor, basically, with their scales being their armor. They also will use their tail, which has sharp scales on it, to defend themselves against predators and, whack them with their tail. And last but not least, as we know many animals do, including snakes and skunks, and I'm sure there's other ones out there, they will release a stinky fluid from a gland near the base of their tail to ward off predators, because that stinky fluid will make predators want to leave them alone. All right, everyone, we have covered what a pangolin is, where pangolins live. We've covered why they're endangered and the fact that they are vulnerable and endangered. We've also talked about some of their interesting characteristics, habits, and behaviors. It's time for me to sign off on this video with the not recording a big portion of this video. That's a little annoying, but it's all right. So thank you, as always, for being here, for clicking to watch this video. I am always so happy to present an interesting organism or animal to all of you. I'm going to try to do some spooky Halloween themed videos for October. So if you have any interesting October or Halloween or spooky ideas, please send them my way. I do have 1 or 2 already kind of set in my head, but I would love to hear some other suggestions. As always, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share these videos. And the most important reminder of all is to stay weird.